Hey there everybody, Johnny T here, and today I just wanted to talk about my first Rolex purchase. Never thought I'd own a Rolex. Been collecting watches for something like 6 years now, but I've been aware of Rolex forever. I mean, everybody knows what a Rolex is, right? But since I started collecting watches, it seemed like Rolexes are just further and further away from being affordable and attainable. You can still get some good deals out there, but I still know very little about Rolex, and I did buy this watch secondhand. And I'm going to go over how I kind of figured out everything was authentic, I think is what I'm going to do. Um, so, first I'm going to talk about the band. So this Rolex in particular has some hollow end links, a Jubilee bracelet, and some spring bars. One thing you'll notice about these spring bars is, you know what? I'm not going to use gloves because why would I? This is my watch. I don't care. One of the things I noticed about the spring bars is they're not quite like the other spring bars that I've seen. So these are, the one on the top is like your standard, I guess, Chinese spring bar, and the one on the bottom came with the Rolex. Now, one of the things people talk about is bracelet stretching, and you could see the wear patterns in this pin, in this spring bar. You can see where it's wearing through, actually, which is really interesting. And that's where bracelet stretch is happening. So when your links start to separate, it's because these pins are getting worn. So that's your first kind of indication that, okay, this might be authentic so far. We also have one end that protrudes out in two sections, and then one end that is just straight. So I assume these go in a certain way. I'm assuming these ones you want to put in first, and then these ones you push through and then put on. I'm not entirely sure. The next thing I want to talk about are the hollow end links. So hollow end links for Rolex are special. Everything about a Rolex is special, and these do have a code on them. And the code on these is 555, and this is how you tell what model Rolex these go to. So I've got my hollow end links here. Those check out. And then we have the bracelet itself. Now that bracelet stretch I was talking about, you'll see it here. The further these are separated, the more stretched it is, and that's because of that wear. I believe when these are new, they're closer together, like maybe something like this. So, you know, this one has some separation. It's still pretty good though. And I think one of the ways they tell is you hold it like this, and depending on how much lops over, will tell you how stretched your bracelet is. Pretty cool. We have your signed clasp, which, you know, every fake has this. So far, you know, like, there's nothing really amazing about this. Even the center links are hollow. If we move that, you can see right through them. Like, honestly, this isn't a well-made bracelet in my mind. I mean, I've seen a lot of 316L stainless steel bracelets, and this actually, I guess the quality's fine. I don't know. My expectations are just, I guess, high because it's Rolex, but I don't think there's anything necessarily special about this Jubilee. Except for the fact that it's a Rolex Jubilee, obviously. So we also have the Rolex indentations on the clasp. So everything looks to be correct. But the thing that really tells us a lot about this bracelet is the model number here, 62510H 16. I had, so the 16 there means this was manufactured in 1984. So you can look that up. Also, you can look up this bracelet, and I'm gonna go over what model all this goes to, and it all checks out. So really cool. So now we have the watch itself. So this is a Rolex datejust, or it's Rolex Oyster Perpetual Datejust. And everything looks good. It's got the Cyclops, the fluted bezel, it's got the signed crown. It also has the case back nothing like it's supposed to. But the way to really tell what model this is specifically and when it was made is on the side. So you have to take the bracelet off. But as we can see, it says 16030 Ridge Rolex design. So this model is it's a Rolex datejust model 16030. That's exactly what it is. And then the other end has the serial number. So the whole serial number's on the other end, and all this information tells me that I have a Rolex datejust that was made in 1985. This is me looking up the serial number in the database. I did take the case back off this already, and it is using a 30-35 movement. So I took some photos of the watch before I put it back together, just to kind of go over that. So this is when I first received it. It was very dirty, as you can see. There's dirt everywhere, including the Cyclops and the bezel, the fluted bezel. I also used some polywatch, and I did clean up the crystal as well. So this is with the case back off. Everything about this movement lines up. I believe this to be an authentic Rolex movement. I looked at where each of these little dots were in the wheels. I've looked at the spacing between each of these jewels and these screws and these posts and all the lettering, comparing authentic Rolex photos of authentic Rolexes on the internet, and everything seems to line up to me. Also, this being a movement 30-35 makes sense. Even the hairspring and the balance wheel, they all line up. So, and the finishing does as well. And the case back also lines up with the model. This is the 1600 series watch. It's a 16030, if I recall correctly. Yeah, 16030. And this is a 1600 series case back, so that lines up as well. And all the lettering and everything makes sense. Also, this information on the case back, you see a lot of Rolexes with this kind of information on it because the last person who worked on it. And then this is another photo of the day of the model. And this is the watch running. The first day I had it, it's actually running even better now. This is just when I first got it on the time grapher, and even then it was still running within chronometer specifications. But I think it's actually like plus 2 seconds a day now, and the amplitude's better, and the beat error is 0.2. So just wanted to kind of go over all that. It's authentic. It's got the red wheels and everything. It's a model 16030. It has the quick change date. It's using 5x5 end links, which are for this model specifically. And the clasp for the bracelets also checks out for this model. And then that's the date that the bracelet itself was manufactured. So it all checks out. Bracelet was made in 84. This model was made in 85. The movement makes sense. So yeah, a lot of fun actually researching this watch. I've concluded that it is 100% authentic. Everything about it is authentic. Everything checks out. It's very dirty when I got it. I cleaned it up quite a bit. And it also keeps very good time. It's still within chronometer specification. I think it's got like a 0.2 second beat error or something like that. But I think it's plus 2 seconds a day right now. Beautiful. One of the ways you could tell this is an 85 model is because of the lume. So the lume is actually on the, I'm going to call that a baton indice. It's on the very end of them. And watches that are from like the 70s, the lume is actually on the dial instead of being on the top of these indices. The lume on this isn't great. Like it's completely faded out. It is from 85. This is almost, what, a 30-year-old watch? Is that right? Sorry, 40-year-old watch, right? 85, 95, 05, 15, 25. Yeah, it's almost a 40-year-old watch. So the lume is completely faded, but I've been wearing this watch. I actually bought links for this 316L stainless steel links on eBay. I got 4 of them. I will be wearing it with this bracelet eventually. For now, I've just been kind of using these bracelets, or sorry, this leather strap, so it's working out for now. But this is just a, cheap leather strap. It's quite thick though, so I feel pretty comfortable using it, and it's barely worn as well. So anyways, just wanted to talk about that. Yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, hopefully this was useful to somebody. Thank you. Take care.